Morning. Hey, Mel.
Good morning, Tony.
How you been? We've been through all kind of difficulties to get here, but we're here. You
Yeah,
know,
and so we want to apologize for our late start this
yeah,
morning.
we ain't gonna be here long, so you know, you gotta blame these equipment. When you got these equipment, they don't wake up with you in the morning. They wake
Uh,
up and they got their own shift and own time. When they don't want to work, they don't work,
you
and
gotta have
so
a backup plan all the time, right?
all the time. So, folks, at least we're here. We struggle, but I'm here. I'm coming through my phone. That's fine. But Mel, so we got a big chapter this morning.
Yeah.
Um, Before I run my mouth, um, we can do some health tips.
Oh, you really gonna take time for the health tips in spite of?
Yeah,
Okay.
you know me.
Well,
I don't. I don't. Anyway, moving right along.
it's good. It's good that we're gonna focus because we started our talk on stress couple
Mhm.
weeks back, but unfortunately, we've not had Wednesday sittings for about 2 weeks, and so we
Yeah.
got a break in the transmission there. But we just want to quickly remind people on how to identify stress and then talk briefly about how stress impacts the body in a very brief summary. So here we go. Looking at stress, if you remember, we said that stress is identified through your body and how you're feeling. If you're feeling tense, if you're feeling panicky, worrying, there's a sense of urgency when there's really none. There's anxiety, feeling nervous, you're feeling strained or pressured, then you know that you are experiencing some level of stress. Now, how does this impact your body? It impacts every part of your body: the brain and nervous system, the skin, the muscle and joint, the heart, the stomach, the pancreas, your intestine, your reproductive system, and of course, your immune system. So, what I want to do is to say to you, there is nothing that is worth stressing over if it's going to negatively impact your health. Now, how do you know that you are stressed? We talk about the fear, the anxiety, depression, all of that. But it manifests itself through symptoms such as headaches, feeling of despair, lack of energy, sadness, nervousness, anger, irritability. You may break out with acne, skin issues. You may feel some muscle ache, tension, in your shoulders and your neck. And when that is happening, people usually say, "Oh, I'm about to suffer a stroke or a heart attack." Yes, if you continue to be in stress without finding some form of relief, you could very well end up with a heart attack, okay? Because your blood pressure will rise, your heart beats faster, it increase your risk for higher cholesterol level. Even the pancreas is affected, increased risk for diabetes. And I could assure you, this diabetic connection is there. I remember when I was doing my study in the UK for um, Black people living in the UK, a lot of the persons that I interviewed told me that they were diagnosed with diabetes at a very stressful time in their life. It's the same thing with the high blood pressure. People who are of the reproductive age, women in particular, you have irregularity and painful periods, even reduction in your sexual desires. So stop stressing. And of course, your immune system is affected. So in our next segment, I am going to show you how to overcome your stress. But you saw the complexity and the impact of stress on the body. It's nothing to play with, okay? And don't wait until you're on the extreme end to say, "I'm stressed." Look at the little things that are happening, the little overwhelming feeling that you're having, and chill, sit back, take a break. We're going to look at some tips on how to overcome stress when we come back on Sunday.
Well, well said, Doc. You put that in place. But I want to help. Our show is based on something else, but I want to elaborate on where you left off.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about diabetes and the stress level and this or that. And you talk about women who have pains when they have their periods,
Kids, yeah.
and it also
Decrease sex drive.
there you go. It is that's exactly where you're going. It's sex drive. So I listen well. So I was a good student. So I want to elaborate on that same section. For a lot of men, mm, especially in the age of 60 to older,
60 and over, yeah.
who having this menstrual sex problem, this penis not getting function, erection, and not having, is because you, you have to understand it's a makeup. Like you say, men with diabetes, it's a makeup. And everything has to fall in line. When you talk about stress, stress affects your sex life. You're talking about men now. And when men goes out all day, work hard, and come home and on the job, where stress on the job, and you come home and you eat chicken rice at the evening, 7 o'clock you probably eat, then you settle in and eat, and then you try to have sex, it don't work. And you're already having erectile function because you have that the sickness of diabetes. And so it don't work. So men as a learn has to take care of themselves and read, because a lot of men don't even have time to read and find out what's going on with them. Find out what's the best way. Find out, because a lot of time erection they have that function and they complain and say, and they go take the Viagra.
Hmm.
You don't have to do that. All you have to do is use common sense. Relax. Don't bring your stress home. Leave it at the job site. Leave it at the job. I know some people can't do this, but you got to train yourself to do this. If you want to have a beautiful marriage and enjoy sex in the bed with your wife, you need to take care of yourself. Pay attention to yourself. A lot of men don't take care of themselves. They don't even cut their hair. They don't shave well. They don't even exercise. They don't take it. They don't even groom themselves properly. So all of this has a lot to do with stress level too, because a lot of men look in the mirror and be tired and they're angry with themselves. They look at themselves and they say, "Oh Jesus, I look in breakdown." Yeah, you gotta look breakdown. You gotta be breakdown because you're not taking care of yourself. You're not taking time for yourself. When you come home from a stressful day, sit down for half an hour, catch yourself, break your body down, take away all that stress, all that heat from outside and all that, wherever you come, and just quiet time. Like you always say, Doc, quiet time. Just take that quiet time. It worked well.
Hmm.
Drink some water, sit and drink some water, take quiet time. Because a lot of us, you hear the rumor on the street, a lot of us taking these pills and a lot of us having heart attack and a lot of us, you hear it every day.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no need for that. There's no need. And some people who are using Viagra and using these tablets don't even need to use these tablets.
All they have to do is de-stress.
De-stress, take care of yourself,
De-stress.
eat
Yeah.
properly,
Mhm.
and de-stress. And so
Yeah.
I
Come
know
in
that.
touch with yourself, you know.
Yeah.
Watch your feelings.
Yep.
And this your physical feeling, because the emotional feeling is what our topic focuses on
Yeah.
today as it relates to your relationship with others. But
Yeah. But
yes, I
on
agree
the
with
jobs, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
you. No, I
On
say
the
I agree with you with
okay.
speaking to the man,
Even I'm talking
you
about
know.
our topic. Talking about our topic today because I know you want to talk, but I want to help the men, man. So we can talk about men. We talking about men today, right? So let's stick right there. We talking about men. We talking about helping men. I, you on the job site. You on the job. Um, any job. Let's say any job. Let's say I go to the government jobs. Let's say you're on a government job. Well, you know you don't like your boss, or it's a conflict because he's a PLP, who's a FNM. So you know you'll have these clashes. Who's the boss? I ain't doing this. My party, and I ain't working. All this clashes going on. There's too much things going on, and it's too much fight. That's what we're talking about. There's too much fight going on. You're trying to do your work, but you're also trying to play party politics on the job. You also don't like your boss because you think you're more educated than the boss. It's a whole, all you're doing is then when you come home, you bring this stress to this wife. This beautiful woman just waiting for you. She done cook all this nice plate of food, waiting for you to come home. And what you do is bring this stress at home, bring all this at home. And you started to see, we gotta learn to divide our work and our home time. We can't bring our work at home because it's too much, it's too much conflict. People say I could do it. No, no, no. Because now what you're doing is taking care, you're taking the woman time away or your children time away because you all stress about you trying to you trying to do this to outshine this person at your job. And in woman cases, oh dress. There's competition going on, but you think you better and you look better than her, and you gonna fix her, and you bringing all this in your brain, all this craziness going on, and so you can never de-stress. And people be so angry, they bring it to church, you know, angry. We walking around here angry, Mel. And for the men are already stressed because men carry the load. Man gotta take care, protect his family, gotta feed his family, and he gotta grow his family. That's in itself is a mama job for a man. Who teach a man? His mother. Majority of them being taught by their mother. So you don't got a woman perspective on this thing. You even got a man perspective. So watch this. You come you coming home with your mother perspective that your she was taught. She taught you to bring it to another woman out. That's conflict of self. That's a major conflict in itself. And so your word, especially me, my word is, boy, my mother tell me this. And whatever my mother tell me, I believe it. That's all I that's all I know. I say my father, I say my mother. So I bring in my mother to my wife or to my girlfriend, and my girlfriend or my wife is saying to me, hold on, that's your ma. You love your ma. You need to go back to your ma. That's what they tell you. So, so all this what we call clashes going on in our head, and so this 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 is see we talking real talk this morning. We ain't talking no, we ain't talking. We talking real talk. So I leave it to you, Melanie. Go ahead.
Okay, Tony. So, in our journey through life,
Mm-hmm.
we do have to realize that everything that we do, everything that we know, is based on our interaction with those who raised us, those who taught us, in all environments, the workplace, the school, the home, the community. But we are killing ourselves because not everything that we were taught in these environments are for our best selves, put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the habits of life that we have, the working till you drop, the shopping till you drop.
Yeah.
It's like you work, 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 work. Everything we do in excess.
Oh
And
yeah.
we need to establish some form of balance. Okay. Now, in watching our feelings, men need to be able to express themselves better. Tony is standing up.
Yeah.
We need to express ourselves better. We need to listen more. And then we need to try to establish some form of balance between what we believe and what our partners believe. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Our feelings is a good indicator. But what we do with our feelings is we only stick to what we know. What we have to begin to do is when we encounter new and unfamiliar, we should approach it with curiosity, seek to understand. Okay? Yes, watch how you feel about something, but then question that feeling. Is that feeling appropriate? Am I missing something? Um, when I spoke to you at the very beginning of the show, you talked about um, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So checking yourself is very important because if you don't check yourself, it's a possibility that you will wreck yourself and wreck everything around you, especially in relationships. Give you an example. You're at work. You have a lot going on in your head. You walk out of the door to go somewhere and you come back and you meet two individuals talking. As you approach, they stop talking. You begin to feel some type of way. They've been talking about me, but were they really talking about you? Or is that your perception and the way that you feel, the way that you feel about yourself? Now, transfer that into your relationship with your partner.
Mm-hmm.
Your partner says something and it kind of aligns with a bad experience from your past, and you
Mm-hmm.
automatically get angry with your partner over a statement that literally had nothing to do with trying to make you feel less than or to embarrass you or to attack you, but you receive it in that light. Check your feelings, check your perspective, keep things in balance. So, your partner says something before you get angry, puffed up, and start distancing yourself. ask the question. You know, some people ask the question, but the tone that they ask it can also be very aggressive. It's like, so what you mean by that? What you trying to say to me? No. Am I understanding you clearly? Get clarity. Stop the fighting. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, Mel, is well said. Well done. I got something to say. Um, on on Sunday, we come back with the show, 4 o'clock. If you folks out there don't miss it, we're gonna have a show this world. I must warn you, don't miss 4 o'clock because we're gonna talk about a little bit of we can talk about love and we can talk about love in a way. Is your mate really love you? Is she just faking? If she just your wife
He is your husband.
or she just the roommate? Because a lot of wives are just roommate.
Hmm. Companion. They must be
Or
all.
or he married he married cousin or he in love with the cousin.
Anyhow.
So we can talk we talking
And
about love.
very broad and deep.
We talking about love and how love walks, love talks, the whole gamut of love. But
In half an
majority
hour.
but majority of y'all out there who married, man and woman, you know y'all only got them people. Y'all only roommates. Ain't no love in this. I said, oh, Sunday, we can take. I have people ask me to do the show, so I'm gonna do it, and I ain't gonna be easy. So on Sunday, 4 o'clock, under the tree, Melatonin will be right there. Join us, because it'll be powerful. And hit us up live. And anybody who has a birthday, hit us up so we can, you know, ways under the tree chat. Mel and Tony, we'll be there Sunday. Mel,
Okay, Tony. So I guess this is our end. And so we want to thank you for viewing our show and sharing with friends. We hope that what we shared today was of benefit to you and come back Sunday expecting to learn how to de stress.
yeah. And remember the topic is my wife is just my roommate? Anyway,
Roommate or
folks,
spouse?
sorry,
Roommate or spouse?
roommate. Just my, just
Or
my
roommate or lover?
majority is just roommate. You know, when you go to college, you share a room. That's majority of wives, husband and wives are today, and that's what we're gonna do. Anyway, Mel, it's under the tree chat, Mel and Tony. That's where we meet every Sunday, 4 o'clock. Wednesday, 7:15. Back again on Sunday, 4 o'clock, right here under the tree chat. Have a great